Hello and welcome to Reddit League Season 5, where last season we finally managed to get promoted into Division 1 after Season 3 was a bit of a disappointment towards the end. And now we're finally here. It feels nice. You can see here already in the background the distribution of who goes in what division and stuff like that. You can look over it quickly here. And this is my division. We'll get into that a bit more. It's actually very French heavy. 5 Frenchmen, 2 Dutch people, 1 Pole, and 1 German, and me. And yeah, I'll quickly show you through the schedule before we'll get into the matches itself and who I'll be playing against. Then we'll play through our own seed, and then I'll guide you through the other seeds. Although usually, as it is with this season, since I'm now hosting or organizing the tournament, I have to play through the other seeds quite a bit in advance so that everything's set up and I can just, once the day comes, because usually I'm at work on Wednesday, so I have to I usually type up everything in advance on Reddit as a post, and then I literally just go click on post. Basically it takes like 5 seconds. So I have to create those seeds a bit in advance, and then it may be possible that it's been like a few days since I've played the seeds and don't actually fully remember what happened in them. But let's get into the schedule first. I randomly generated this. I actually recorded it as well, but so far no one's accused me of rigging it or anything, so I thought I'll just leave it on my hard drive. Based on pretty much, I just went and took those map seeds from last season. I think I'm not quite sure if I adjusted anything or not, but might have done like maybe there was one more. I don't think I did actually. And then put the countries in a random number generator essentially, and then like spun a wheel, and then we got this, and this includes Poland, which. Before the season, I would have said not really my thing, and now I'm gonna say not really my thing, but there's actually something nice about it, because Poland has something that is actually pretty rare in Europe, which is a useful phone area code system. Not in the sense that other countries don't have useful phone area code systems, just that other countries usually don't use phones anymore. They use mobiles. There are also phones, I know, but so for most other countries in Europe, I can't actually think of a single one right now where I use phone codes. But for Poland, you find them everywhere, so they're fantastic, and they're sort of well ordered, in the sense that you have the ones in the southeast. Then you go a bit further west. You have the 2s at the top, then the 4s, then the 3s. So still rememberable. Then you go one step further west and you have 5, 6, 7 from north to south, which is pretty good. Then you have the 9s in the far west and the 8s in the far east. So it's a decently rememberable system. It then gets split up into secondary area code, which is then a bit harder to remember. But at least for the bigger cities, there's also a system to it, which is from 1 to 5. The bigger cities all have a secondary area code of 2, meaning 12 is Krakow, 22 is Warsaw, 32 is Katowice, 42 is what's 42? I think 42 is Łódź, and 52 is Poznan. Although, yeah, I think 52 is Poznan. And then once you start with the 6s, it's not it's the 2 secondary area code anymore. It's the 1 secondary area code. Why? Don't ask me. But 61 is... What's 61 again? I don't actually remember. Maybe 61 was Poznan and 52 was something else. Yeah, 52 was something else. I just can't remember. I have an image of the name in my mind, but I think it starts with B. Bydgoszcz or something like that. That might have been 52. Yeah, 61 is Poznan. 71 I don't remember either. 81 is Lublin, and 91 is Szczecin. And yeah, I know a couple of others as well. Like I know the 13 is in the far southeast, out of the ones. Then the 80s have basically there's lower 80s from 81 to 83 or 4, which are the southern ones, and then there's 86, I think, to 89, which are the northern 80s. Things like that, I know. 48 is south of Warsaw, 25 is east of Warsaw. Just sort of these little things, but I don't know all of them, unfortunately, because I can't be bothered. And then you have the postal codes, which are much much nicer organized, but a bit more complicated, I feel like, to remember the smaller numbers, because I learned the area codes first, or I looked at them first. I didn't really learn them in the sense that I was like studying them, but I was playing through practice seeds, and then every time I saw an area code, I was like, yeah, this should be about here. And then afterwards I'd look at it again, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, it was that area. And the postal codes, they're actually better organized because, well, let's start off with the less organized. 0 is Warsaw. That's still okay. That's the capital. 9 is Łódź. And then we start with the organized things. From the northeast, we start with the 1s. Then we go south with the 2 and the 3s. Then we go west with the 4 and the 5s. And then we go north with the 6 and the 7s. And then we go east with the 8s. So basically, they're clockwise around the country. The problem is these areas, purely on the first digit, can be pretty large. So even if you know, for example, the postcode of a small village, it can still be pretty tough to find if you don't know the secondary postal code, because they have secondary codes as well, of course. And I don't know any of those, to be honest. All right, I think that's enough about Poland. That's everything I pretty much learned in practice. Landscape, it all looks the same. Kind of. Not quite. The southern part is a bit more mountainous, but apart from that, you know. Anyway, let's continue with the other countries. I'll go through them a bit more quickly, and I'll talk about my in-depth opinions about them whenever they come up. Jordan, okay. And not my favorite country for sure. Especially in Asia, there's a couple I like more, but at least it's not Indonesia. All Volvo dealerships in the world could be interesting. It's pretty much a world map that's slightly bogged down to, because I think I looked it up earlier, and I think there's Volvo dealerships in like 60 countries. So there's a couple that won't come up. I assume quite a lot of them will be in the Nordics or in the US, maybe in Japan. But overall, pretty much a world map with one point of reference or point of interest that you have on the map already at the start. And I think in some countries, Volvo dealership actually have the name of the town on them, which could be nice, but we'll have to see. Then we've got Australia. Is about as bad as it gets, but maybe I'll finally learn how to tell the country apart. That would help. I just don't really want to. But I'll be forced to, so that's kind of nice. Then we've got Idaho, which I've played like just to test out my map, because I made polygon maps for Jordan and Idaho because there weren't any maps with a lot of locations in them. I played like 2 games, and Idaho is insanely nice to landscape guess. Like, I did no practice at all in Idaho. Just played those 2 seeds, and I could pretty much instantly tell which area was what. So that could be interesting. Then we've got Russia. I think people know about Russia. Pretty big, pretty big. Also got a Street View coverage update, I think sometime at the end of last year, which added some Siberian areas to it. We'll just see what it... If we're 5 times in the middle of nowhere, I'm not going to win. If we're 5 times in more semi-urban locations, I might have a chance. It'll depend. Then we've got a hard world, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Pretty much, I think it says like contains 4,000 from the 24 hardest countries in the game, which could be fun. Pretty sure Indonesia is in there, which less fun. Also don't know how Alec decided which are the 24 hardest countries in the game, because that's very subjective, but either way, we'll see what they are. Then we've got what you might do, for example, what you could do is you could go through the official maps and look at the average score and just take the 24 with the lowest average score. But, you know, there are countries where it's like, it's going to be really tough if you have no idea what you're doing, but it's going to be super easy if you do, like Kyrgyzstan, for example. Um, but, we'll see. Then we've got Europe, which, is just Europe, isn't it? And then we've got, from my last game of the season, we've got Canada, which I'm looking forward to, because I quite like Canada. I liked Saskatchewan last season, so we'll see how this one goes. I don't actually remember who I'm playing against, so I'll have to look that up as well, which we'll get to in a bit. Then the two that I won't be playing personally are Ukraine, and I put Ukraine there on purpose. I mean, I could have put Russia or Ukraine there, it didn't really matter, but I didn't want both Russia and Ukraine being in the countries that people who are in a 10-man division play. So because they're quite similar, so I didn't want both of them to be in there. And then we've got Intersection Guesser to finish it off before the relegation and playoff final. Now, who am I playing against? In Poland, we start off against Mr. Blue, which is going to be interesting. Then against Pluki in Jordan, also interesting. Against Boxer and all Volvo dealerships in the world, so I'm expecting I'm either going to be able to get a draw there or I'm going to lose. Then Verdok in, what was 4 again? Was for Australia. That's going to be interesting. I'd suspect Verdok is someone who's good in Australia, but I might have to practice for that quite a bit. Then Bulgur in, what was 5? In Idaho. Okay, that could also be quite interesting. I like the matchups so far. And then we've got Orpheus in Russia, which is going to be tough for sure. But at least it's not Boxer. Ooh, Boxer against Raidman in Russia. That's going to be fun. Then we've got Baseman, as always on a world map, a hard world this time. Could also be fun. Then we've got Nimrith in, what was week 8? Europe. Okay. The European map is a map that was created by the French community. That might not be ideal for me. I don't know if it gives him an advantage. It has like 30,000 locations. It probably shouldn't, but... And then we've got Raidman in Canada, which I think is a bit unfortunate because I do like Canada, but it's going to be difficult against Raidman. Because Canada can also be very pinpoint heavy, because there's a lot of long straight roads, and Raidman's very good at pinpointing. But we'll see. So those are my 9 opponents for this season, and my 9 maps. And now let's get into our seed. Let's go. All right, everyone ready for Season 5 of Reddit League? Division 1 for the first time? I'm not. Let's see. Let's start. Okay, relatively urban, out in the middle of nowhere, basically. Zhovsko or something like that. Area code 16 near Yaroslav. Okay, that's a start. There's Zhovsko. Is there any reference points? Hotel Restauracja Piast. Okay, maybe I'm a bit too eager here. Maybe I should look around a bit more. Let's see. Okay. This is the city exit. Is it the city exit of Yaroslav? I would imagine so. No, it's the city exit of Tuchempi. Ah, here we are, here we are. There's the restaurant, Piast. Okay. It pays off to look around. Then... how many side streets? We're basically right there. Is where the Hotel Piast is. This building here? That's what it looks like to me. There's a gaggle of buildings there. Should be the next building over here. Be a bit further back. Oh, wrong direction. The next building over here should be a bit further back. Over there. Yeah. It should be this. We're just before that. So here. There's that building. Maybe we're actually like here. And let's go with that. 19 meters. Close enough. Okay, tallest pins scare me there. In the sense that I can't tell if I'm actually pinpointed correctly. Okay, was there. So that house that was there apparently just doesn't show up on the map. Let's go round 2. Okay. Right, truck blocks it. Can I see it from the other side? Yes, but I don't think it has a number on it immediately. Something gaudy. Sure, I'll find another sign with the same information displayed better. Okay, 11 towards beat Tangori. That should be everything I need. Wait, where is Bitom? It's the 11. The 11 is here. The 11 continue past there. No, there's Bitom. Tanovsky Gori, probably. Opatovice. That, I assume, is a smaller place here too. Krupski Mlin. To the west here. Like up there. What road names? Lubliniecka and Kotowska. Nothing immediately standing out here. Not really. Right. There's another sign here. The 907 goes through here. There's Kotowska, there's Lubliniecka. Okay. So this road here goes over there. Probably this one, Skosna. Continue, there's one more. Then there's a river. Wait, might be Mierki. Let me check. Is there another one over here? There is actually, and then there's the river. So it's this one. And this building we're right next to is the Barcz Debova. There we go, 2 meters. Nice, round 3. Let's go. Okay. That's going to be interesting. Okay, there are houses here. It's not as bad as I initially thought. There's very rarely a round in Poland where I'm like, I think not architecturally, landscape-wise, I have an idea of where this is, which is the southeast, far southeast. I think that might say 24, Ladek Strik or something like that. Let me actually set a marker here. Yeah, we're near Klotsko, which is actually over here, yeah. I wasn't 100% right. Ladek Stroy, was that it? Bring me back. Yes, it is. Do we have... What do we have here? Kopalnia Lutinia. Somewhere over there. Take it. Granica Anst was something. Granicna. At least the right road name. Wait, what was that called? Gotta check. Automedic. Okay. I go a bit further over here. Okay. Okay, no, not quite yet. Let me go further down there. Let me figure something out. Almost looked like an amusement park over there. Got 45 seconds. Just go Pensionat Melafir. Zamenhof. Yeah, Zamenhof. Melafir. Okay, yes, we should have come from here. I go back to the start. And go down there. We go pretty much entirely west. Before we take, I think, north. So we should be here, I think. I'm pretty confident. Nice, 12 meters. 2 more. Okay, more middle of nowhere. I'll take it. Is this the direction that looks like it would... Wait. That would bring us to signs. 85. Okay. Unfortunately, don't think it had a city name or anything there. Okay, Tarnopor. Tarnopor. Can I see it? It looks small, so probably not. Let me put it here for now. Actually, let me go the other way. 85, I'm like 99% confident, is the area code of Białystok. Yeah, it's a very small town. Would be difficult to find for sure. Question is, will I get to anything else that's going to be helpful? I'd say that's a probably yes. Anopor. Beat you? No. Okay, the 687. 689. There. Towards Bondari to the east. Don't see that. Oh, there's Bondari. There's Tanopur. Okay. Okay. So where exactly did we start? That's not easy to tell. There's a bit of a curve there. A very slight curve, though. Could be this one. There's a church here, too. We might be further east. Okay, this seems like this. You could imagine it at least. Wait, there's another bit of a curve here. And then we're exiting Tanoport. That is that curve. If we're going over here. It's missing. It's got to be this place right here. That road. Gotta trust that that is correct. Maybe put me like here. And then hope for the best. Oh, just about. Just about. Slightly further. All right, nice. One more. One more. Oh no. Oh no, in the sense that I struggle a lot with Polish cities in terms of figuring out how to pinpoint myself. Figuring out the city shouldn't be a problem. I have no doubts about that. Because I know all the area codes for the cities pretty much, so. Okay, why are we suddenly in foot coverage, essentially? Okay, maybe, but nothing I could immediately read. I just want a phone number, please. Mariacka Katowice. Okay. to start. And it looks like we're relatively central. It's a big park here. One thing, I'd still like a phone number. There we go, that's good enough. It's Universitetska. Which is this one as well as this one. Okay, let me go back to the start. What have we got here? Oops. Podgor something was that, and this is Vojevodska and Podgorna. Vojevodska and Podgorna. Can't be too far away from that university road, I don't think. Didn't travel that far. But maybe I should go a little bit further. Here's the underpass. Okay. Rialto apart. What have we got here? Svejana and I can't read that. Shit, I'm not going to be able to pinpoint it. God damn it. Podgorna. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, so close. That's a really funny distribution, to be honest. But definitely the seed fulfills what I expect of a seed, which is no two locations in the same city. There were actually no repeats with the other 4 seeds, 5 seeds even, which I'll go through with you just after this now. And yeah, I quite liked it, honestly. It was a good mix between very urban with the last round there, which, as I said, really not my thing, and pretty rural, although, not in the absolute middle of nowhere, but, Ladek Zdroj, was pretty rural. At least it was in the outskirts of a small town. And some more of what you typically expect in Poland, which is a rural road through some small towns. So actually a pretty diverse seed. Not for the landscape or visiting the whole country, but if I have to be honest, all of Poland kind of looks the same anyway. Except, you could tell they're down there, the mountainous regions look clearly different because there's actually hills and mountains there. But apart from that, I mean, it's not like it all looks the same, but it doesn't look different enough for me to be able to pinpoint specific regions beyond just saying like, hey, maybe somewhere here. There's other nice little tidbits of info that you can use. Like, for example, I had one practice round here, and you had Lithuanian, double languages on the town signs, so you knew you were right there. Yeah. Nice. I was definitely making it close on the pinpointing on some of these. And very close, cutting it very close in time on the last one, but let me actually have one more look at this place. Vojevodska. Which was this, wasn't it? Yeah, that's Svietogojana. And we weren't actually that close to the university road. That was just I don't know, university road somewhere over there, I guess. Or, an ad for a university. It was basically at the end there, it was the railway tracks that saved me, and the fact that I somehow found Podgorna. Jesus Christ. By the way, if you noticed, at one time I clicked out of the window. Like, you can see there, my mouse goes over here out of the window. That's because with my new computer, for some reason, even though it's an upgrade all across the board, for some reason, it can't run GeoGuessr smoothly if it's in full screen and I'm recording. I don't know why. So what I've done is I've basically made GeoGuessr into like a small window. It's not that small, like it's still on a 4K monitor and it's like about 70% of the screen. But with that, it runs sort of smoothly. You saw there, like here or there, it had a bit of stuttering, but it was smooth enough. And then I just record the browser window, and with like the screen region, I get rid of the top bar, so that it's still smooth, and it should be the right aspect ratio roughly. So it shouldn't look too much like messed about with it being way too wide or way too high. But yeah, that's basically the reason for that. So I mistakenly, because I was panicking, as I do, I went out of it and I clicked basically behind it. I've got like some random Discord open or whatever, and I just clicked out of it and I was like, oh shit, gotta bring it back up. So yeah, there's one more thing. If you're wondering, I am playing these seeds. You will probably never see anyone else except for Toll, or, well, the person who's created the seed if Toll ever doesn't have time or something, or doesn't want to anymore. You'll never see anyone else on this scoreboard when I'm playing it, because I'm playing it one day before I make the post official, which is just in case that there's something wrong with the seed. Like, for example, there may be like a repeat from one of the other 5, which Toll can't check for because he wants to play the other 5, normally as well. Sometimes at least, I guess. And so if that's something, that's it. Or if there's something else maybe where I'm like, maybe because I asked Toll to create the seeds a bit earlier, like a week or 2 in advance. So if something happens with the coverage in the meantime and something gets deleted, we suddenly spawn in a dead end. I want to be able to fix that before I make the post official. And I'd like to give myself at least a day for that. I don't think there's any sort of possible advantage I could gain from this. Toll only sends me 1 seed. It's also not like I could like play 7 of them and then use the best one. Toll would know. And yeah, I also couldn't be bothered doing that, and I'm way too honest about competing legitimately that I would do that. And it would just sort of ruin this moment of I actually pulled off a 25k on my first game in Reddit League Division 1, which is amazing for me. So yeah, I'll make a quick cut here because I'll go back into full screen and everything, and then we're going to look at the other division seats. See you in a bit. All right. After that great performance, I say great performance, maybe everyone's going to 25k, and maybe everyone's going to be super fast and I won't even get a bonus point for drawing. Possible. But I'm still happy with it, nevertheless. So after that, let's go through the other division seeds. Division 5 had not the easiest seed, actually. If you look at the times there, I did 5k 4 of the rounds, but it took me quite a while for some of them. It started us off relatively easy, though, in Bielsk Podlasky. And also important to note, this was the first, not the first seed of Poland at all that I played, but the first seed while creating the seeds for the divisions. And since then, I had practiced about like 10 more seeds. So yeah, that's important to note. So like if I played the seed again, I might do better. First round in Bielsk Podlasky shouldn't be too difficult if you have at least a basic knowledge of Poland at this point. Then round number 2, over here in a pretty difficult place because, as you can see there, you could go to the main highway immediately. I don't remember. I think I got to the main highway with like 5-10 seconds to go and couldn't find anything anymore. So all I could do was pretty much get myself in the right area. And I needed all 5 minutes for that alone, so I don't know which direction I went. Maybe I went like, I don't know, over here or over there. I can't remember actually. Round 3 then brings us over to this to Krosno, which is a city I then had once more, I think, in the practice seeds. I don't think there's another one in the competitive seeds. There shouldn't be. And yeah, I pinpointed that one. Actually, not too easy. I think I went Do I remember? I don't remember. Yeah, I think I went down here and up there. And then probably down there into Krosno or something like that. Took me about 4 minutes, but definitely doable. Round 4 then brings us up here into Ilawa, right next to the main train station. So that helps a lot with pinpointing. So as you can see here, one of the easier rounds. And then round 5 takes us over to Nova Sol, which again took me a very, very long time. I'm not entirely sure why it took me so long. Pretty sure nowadays I should be able to find this much easier. I think this one was genuinely, like, pinpointing took me forever. Because you have to zoom in quite far here. And I might have just not been entirely sure about where I'm placed. So almost 5 minutes there, but I did get it in the end. Actually, I missed out one. Well, we'll get to that last thing. But the Division 4 seed, again, not the most difficult one. Still missed out on one pinpoint because it's a city, and I don't like cities. But we started off in Wrocław. This was a very city-heavy, very urban seed, I think, if I remember right. Not too difficult. You kind of either go to the roundabout down here or the major road up there and cross the train tracks. So not too difficult to pinpoint. There's also a hospital here. It took me 2 minutes. Then round 2 in Krakow. More cities. Again, you probably make your way south. There's a main road. You just kind of find that somewhere. And then pinpoint yourself accordingly. Again, 2 minutes and a bit. And then we were in Lublin. And yeah, I just could not for the life of me figure out where we were. I kind of gathered that we're sort of on the northern side of it somewhere. But yeah, no chance. You could have given me like 5 more minutes and I probably wouldn't have found it either. So that's unfortunate. Could have been a 25k. Then we were in Yaroslav down here. Still a city, but a bit of a smaller one. And fairly easy, right at a sports stadium, next to some roads there that you could probably find road names for. And as you can see there, at least Konfederacka stands out pretty quickly. And then the last round had us, for once, not in a city, just in the town of Končevice. But again, relatively close to a major road. So I think that was probably the easiest seed overall out of the 5, or 6 actually. Then the Division 3 seed. You can see there, that was my best score out of the other out of 5 seeds apart from mine. But pinpointing wise, I was struggling there. Round 1 started us off in the absolute middle of nowhere. Like, look at this. Like, I can zoom out this far, and there's no major road here. Only then do we finally get to something. And I did, in the end, get close enough. I think, what was it? I think I went over there and eventually found some cities over here. Like, they were like assigned 2 cities over there. And yeah, eventually I just ran out of time, but reasonably close. Round 2 then brought us over here on a pretty rural area, but on a major road. So there was surely some, I think I remember a sign towards Müslibosch, and I don't know what was written there in the other direction. But it's not too important. And yeah, just pinpointing, like, where do you put yourself on that? Then round 3 was just outside of Krakow on a major highway. I was probably, just in terms of finding it, actually, it still took me 3 minutes and I couldn't even pinpoint it, right? But actually, I feel like this was the only round that started us off on a major highway. I think there were a couple that were close to one, but that was the only one straight on one of them. But yeah, shouldn't be any problem for people to find the right highway and probably even pinpoint in the sense of get the right stretch of road, because you have this overpass back here, you know, this road down there. So you should be able to tell you somewhere here. And yeah, then it's just about, can you pinpoint it? Round 4 brought us up to the north of Warsaw, into the small town of Worka Somiankowska. And yeah, you make your way down there to the main road. and then pinpoint accordingly. I think I went down here, and you probably see signs towards Vyshkov, maybe towards, I don't know, maybe even towards Warsaw. Wouldn't be sure about that. But there is definitely a sign towards this small town here. So once you figure out you're here, it's not too difficult. And then we finished it off with a pretty easy round down here in sort of between Ustinova Dolna and Ustinova Gorna, right on a train track, which makes pinpointing super easy. And as I said before, I think at the start, I know the 13 area code, and there's not too many major roads here, so I think I found a sign for Brzegi Dolne as well. And yeah, that stands out quickly. Or was it Ustrzyki Dolne? Yeah, I try to pronounce Polish. I sometimes can do it pretty well, I sometimes don't. The Division 2 seed then was fairly easy up until the end, where I don't know, I got overwhelmed, and I don't know. Round 1 started us off south of Warsaw in the small town, or it wasn't even that small, in the town of Grojec. And yeah, not too difficult. Maybe not the easiest to pinpoint because you're quite far on the outskirts there, but I managed to do so. Then round 2 up there in Olsztyn, also very far out there, but there were signs. I think here was a sign that mentioned something about Redikaini, which then, made me figure out, okay, it was here somewhere. So it's definitely not an easy round to 5k, but I managed to do so just in time. Then we had round 3, which was super easy, in the town of Skierniewice, because we were on right next to this lake on a bridge between those two parts of it, and pretty sure I don't know what I found or what it was that I found. Probably an area code or something like that, and then the town just pops up really soon between Watch and Warsaw. So 57 seconds for that. That might have been the quickest out of all the rounds. Then round 4, it went downhill, Krakow, and honestly, this, like, just looking at this looks like a super easy round. But I feel like at this point I'm just highway blind. If we're near a highway, I can just go home. Auto 4, just not going to happen. Not going to be able to pinpoint that. I sort of figured out we were somewhere in this area, but I just couldn't pinpoint it. And then round number 5 was over there in Zielona Gora, and I think I must have found like a wrong area code or something, because I could not for the life of me find the city. And you can see there, it stands out very soon. I've obviously never heard of it. Like, even there, Poland is one of those countries where I know very little cities. It's actually probably not even that little if you compare it to something like, I don't know, Slovakia or Belarus or Lithuania or anything like that. But it's just so big that there are so many cities that stand out quickly. And you can kind of say, like, these are the ones I roughly know. I mean, there's still some I don't know. Kielce, I wouldn't know. Olsztyn probably would. Gdynia probably wouldn't know. I mean, I know now, but... And then if you zoom in, like, don't know, don't know, don't know, don't know, don't know, never heard of it, never heard of it, never heard of these, never heard of this, never heard of these, never heard of these. So it very quickly becomes a lot of towns that I've never heard of that. And yeah, I must have found a wrong area code and I was just lost. It must have been like, if I put it here, it must have been a 48 area code, I think, that I saw somewhere. Which made it even worse because I was like 100% sure I know where the 48 is. Yep, over there. And then I have to quickly go through these because we have one more seed, the new Reddit League next, which is for the people that couldn't quite manage to get in to the regular competition. So they get to play their own seeds alongside, and basically the highest scorer after the season, or I haven't yet decided how many of them. I'll probably decide that somewhere at the halfway point after seeing how many of them are actually participating in it. The highest scorer, maybe highest 2 scorers, maybe highest 3 if all of them are participating, get a guaranteed spot in the next season in Division 5. So what we've got here for their seed, that was actually funny because They've only got 3 minutes because for them only score counts. It's not a direct duel. So it's quite important that a lot of points are lost in a sense because we want to be able to differentiate between them better. For like the regular divisions, if someone loses 101 points, it's plenty to differentiate and give the win to the other person. If someone loses 101 points in Reddit League Next, it's not much of a big deal at all. So you want people to lose a lot of points, and you want to reward the people who did the best and who genuinely looked at the country and practiced it. And those are the kind of people that would do well in a seed like this. We started off in round number 1 in the small town of Rzhechka. And as you can see here, pretty rural. You could probably make your way, if you go up there, probably make your way to the 381 just about in 3 minutes. But if you're going to find a sign there or not, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I found an area code, phone area code there. And it does stand out quickly. So if you do look at that, which is a dangerous play to make in Poland, looking for a town name. But if you do manage to find it, easy pinpoint, easy enough. Then the round that I couldn't find in the seed was over here. Again, middle of nowhere. Like, you see how far you have to zoom in for the roads to even show up. I don't remember where I went in this round, but I couldn't really find anything. I found the town name of Dabrowa Białostocka, but I had no idea where it was, and I think I must have found like something. Oh, I couldn't have found something. I found nothing, not even an area code. Otherwise, I wouldn't have placed myself here because that's where the 2s are and that's where the 8s are. So I just found nothing. But it's definitely like not nothing in the sense of absolutely nothing, because then I would probably maybe throw out the seed. If there's no chance at all to get any information within 3 minutes, I might consider throwing a seed out. But that's so rare, because if there's like one small town name, there's a chance that you can find it. So I'd keep that seed, even if there's nothing else. Then we have round number 3, which was probably the easiest one, slightly. Maybe 5 was easier, in near Mokobori. And there was actually some signs here for a city name, I think, if I remember rightly. That just wasn't a city name or something like that. Because eventually I made my way here to this park. In front of the park, it said something like Mokobod, which then I figured was the town name. Pretty sure I also saw the road number here. So I was kind of already thinking, okay, not the name I found, but maybe this. And then I found that sign and I was like, yeah, okay. Round 4 was another pretty difficult one as far as I remember. Yep. Going back into the middle of nowhere. I actually got sort of in the right area there because I must have found the town name in not a town name, an area code in Vizowa. But yeah, not much more than that. And again, I have to zoom in pretty far for Vizowa to show up, so pretty difficult. And then round 5 was over here again on a rural road. That seed is actually genuinely difficult. I'm looking forward to seeing how they do on this. And yeah, pretty much, I think I made it to Ryoviec or Ryoviec. I don't know. And then found an area code potentially. Maybe I found a sign towards Chelm, something like that. And then I managed to find this village, and then I managed to get actually pretty close on the pinpoint, I have to say, because that's a very long straight road. Probably possible to pinpoint or to get a 5k, but not reliably, I don't think. All right. And that was the sound a bit absent-minded. There's something. Okay, it was Marisin. Because I had one practice seat where I found right in this area where I found a sign towards Marisin, or we were in Marisin or something like that. And there's another one down here somewhere. Even though I probably can't quite find it immediately. Oh, there it is. Yep, there's another one right here. So here, and then I just saw that and I was like, wait, are you serious? But no, it's called Marinin, so it's slightly different. But anyway, yeah, those were the other 5 seeds. So I hope you enjoyed watching this first week of Reddit League Season 5 with me. Quite a long video. I think the other ones will be a slightly shorter because I won't talk about, everything at the beginning and stuff like that, the organizational aspects. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys again next week.